Get ready.
Let's get the goods out of here.
On target.
No, but seriously, should we take their loot?
These guys?
Yeah.
There's 3 of us and 2 of them.
Well, we got 60 seconds. I say we do it.
Ryan, you game? All right, here comes the sticky. On my mark.
Fire now, go, shoot, shoot, shoot!
Rogue protocol initiated.
Get Zoe on the left there.
All right, I got her.
Careful.
I'm running low on health.
Look out.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on? Welcome back. This is Force, and here today, I'd like to talk with you about The Division. So this is a game that recently made it to my top most anticipated upcoming titles of 2016 list, but I've realized that I really haven't taken the time to explain to you guys why that is and express where my interest is coming from. So what I'm going to do here today in this video is cover the basics of the game, talk about its features, and what it is that has me so excited. I spent about 6 hours last night going through all of the videos released so far, reading the website, FAQs, community websites, like the forum posts, and really just trying to consolidate and compile as much information as I could to give you a clear picture of what The Division is. So let's just jump right into it, starting off with the most basics, the description of the game. This is a squad-based RPG shooter that is set in a dynamic, persistent open world. That's a lot of words mashed to describe a single title, but those are all things that I enjoy, and when they come together, it's the potential of that has me really excited. Now, the story here is that there was a group of terrible people, and they released a virus that killed off most of the population. And then, would you believe it or not, after just a few days without food and water, society collapses, and you are part of an underground group of agents called The Division, who are activated to restore order and bring back society. Because, you know, people want to watch it burn, and you're one of the good guys. The game is built with co-op in mind. Now, it allows for a group of up to 4 players, and the game even is going to have built-in voice communication to let you talk with your squad mates. However, if you so desire, you can go it alone. And while they're not calling it an MMO, it in many ways is. It's taking clear inspiration between the character customization, leveling up, the RPG elements, which we'll go into in just a few moments, the PvP stuff. It takes some inspiration from the survival genre, games like DayZ and H1Z1 that have seen a huge surge in popularity in the recent years. You start with very limited supplies, and your first order is to scour the city for food and ammunition before you continue your adventure. Again, that's a clear inspiration from the survival genre, and there's more in the future once we get into PvP and stuff. But what is the game? What are you going to be doing? Well, as mentioned, it's a squad-based RPG shooter and is very much in line with prior Tom Clancy games in terms of how it looks and feels. You're going to be playing in third person, you'll be taking cover, you'll be blind firing or popping up to aim down sights, and you'll be doing all of this in a squad, once more, of up to 4 other people. So as you're in the game world, and this focuses on the city of Manhattan and surrounding areas, you'll have this map of the city. It'll show nearby objectives that you can complete for gaining XP and loot. So you'll encounter some immediate events that require your attention right away. And then there's also these technology that lets you see echoes of the past, giving you hints of what started the pandemic, along with secrets in the surrounding city, such as location of specific gear and items. And you heard me talk about XP and loot, you're hearing me say gear and items. This is where the RPG aspect of things come in. You have a character which you can specialize, customize, and level up. It's pretty interesting stuff. So character customization, you know, you'll be able to do things like change the look of your character and acquire new gear. And this gear all plays into the RPG aspect of this game. As a player, you can fill various roles, such as a tank, a healer, or a DPS. Now, how you fill these roles depend on the skills that you have access to, your attributes, and then the gear that you acquire in this game, which will be dropping off enemies that you face off against, will boost these stats. So if you want to deal more weapon damage, you'll be looking for gear with firearms. If you want to be tanky, you'll be looking for gear with stamina. So we mentioned being like a tank, a healer, or DPS. Besides increasing your health or increasing the effectiveness of your skills, what are those skills? Well, the skills fill a lot of roles. They're turrets, which basically draw aggro from your opponents. They act as a tanky item. There are flash drones drones, which you can use to blind your enemies, healing grenades, which function like regular grenades, except instead of destroying things within their blast radius, they heal them up. And the list goes on and on. There's a huge variety of skills that you'll have access to, and you'll get to choose to have certain active skills at any given time. Now, in earlier videos, it looked like there were only 2 active skills, but in some recent videos that were released, it looks like you may have as much as 3 active skills. Now, we talked about an open world and how you're going to be going throughout this world, exploring, encountering enemies. So let's talk about a bit about those enemies. Several enemy factions will be roaming the city, 2 of which we know about so far are the Cleaners, who walk around in these hazmat suits with flamethrowers, indiscriminately purging anyone that they deem as bad. And then there's the Rikers, who are a gang of convicts that escaped from Rikers Island, and they're just looking to capitalize on the recent chaos. Now, as you kill some of the harder enemies, you'll be getting some better loot. There's different rarities in weapons and gear, and all of these weapons and gear can be customized and leveled up itself. In fact, certain weapons will have special traits. Now, the different types of weapons fill everything that you would expect. There's assault rifles, submachine guns, marksman rifles, shotguns, and sidearms. And also, as you go throughout the world, when you're scavenging for food and ammunition, you'll find resources that can be used in an in-game crafting system, which will allow you to do things like make custom weapon attachments. So far, we've mostly been talking about the PvE side of things. And as far as I can tell, that's going to be a vast majority of what this game is, but PvP still exists. Right within the center of the game world, right in the middle of Manhattan, there's this area called the Dark Zone. The Dark Zone is this walled-off, quarantined area where the military had gone in to try to purge the contamination that's taking place, but they couldn't do it. They had to back out, and in doing so, they left all of their best gear and weapons there. And this is going to play a bit into the end game. Basically, players are going to want to go into the Dark Zone to get some of the best gear in the game. In there, it's gonna play much like it does outside of the Dark Zone. There'll be various enemies from the different factions with varying levels and difficulties, including elite enemies. And as you kill them, you're gonna get some pretty awesome gear. However, you will also encounter other groups of players. So just like you are out there exploring with 3 of your other friends, killing enemies, once you enter the Dark Zone, you will encounter other groups of people who are doing the same thing. Now, when you encounter them, you can decide, we're gonna team up, so my group of 4 and your group of 4, and we'll attack these enemy Rikers, kill the elite, and get the gear. But at any given time, you or the other players can attack each other. So it's basically this massive area where huge PvP trolling can take place. You can work with another group, kill an enemy, and be like, oh yeah, you guys go ahead and take the loot, and then you just kill them and take it. Now, this doesn't come without its side effects. Doing so puts a bounty on your head, which gives a huge reward to anyone else who kills you. It puts you in what's known as rogue status. So other people in the area will know that you're in rogue status, they'll be able to see that you're in rogue status, and they can come and try to kill you, not only getting the bounty that's on your head, but at the same time getting the gear that you had killed the other people to get in the first place. In order to get this gear out and use it, you need to do what's known as extracting. And extracting requires you to call in a helicopter, in which you have to wait 90 seconds for it to arrive, and then put the gear on it and get it the heck out of there. So this is a process. During this whole time, any other people can come up and try to kill you and take that gear. So the Dark Zone is going to have some very interesting PvP dynamics, allow for plenty of funny trolling, and I think it's going to be something that is really a big part of people's play experience here in The Division. There's 2 other things I wanted to briefly touch on. Number 1 is that base building is going to be a thing via what's known as the base of operations. These appear to be scattered throughout the game world, and they allow you to have access to trade stations, medical and armor, fast travel connections from one base of operations to another. Basically, going to be in a central area. And then lastly, I want to touch on what was described as the potential end game for The Division. And basically, we'll be presented with ever-increasing difficulty in encounters and missions. So clearly that means that the leveling of these missions that you're getting as you're playing the game are dynamic, and they can just keep bumping up the difficulty of those enemies. Now, that is basically everything that I could find, and I tried to consolidate it as much as possible about The Division. This game is going to be coming to the Xbox One, PS4, and PC in March of 2016. Yes, that is just 3 months away. Not even. It's like it's early March, so it's like 2.5, or it's really, really close. And I'm so very excited. As we've talked about here, there's a lot going on in this game. I feel like there's so much potential. I just hope they do it right. I hope the combat ends up being fun. I hope they really make it so that there's a lot of reason to keep playing this game, because what I see could be in this title is just fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed. I will, you know, reserve final judgment until the game comes out, but as it stands, I am looking forward to it. So let's hope they deliver. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video recapping everything I know so far about The Division. Hope you have a fantastic afternoon, and as always, until next time, I'll see you later.
Go, we gotta move up forward.
Last one. Keep the pressure on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait for him to reload.
This guy's nuts.
You better bet.
Somebody do something.
I'm gonna make you big.
Go. Come on.
Yes! That is the last one. Good game, guys.
Okay, that was good. Welcome, guys.